What it do? It's your boy A-Tone. Welcome to Stick Talk 101. Back again like I never left. How you doing, Davis, baby?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Can't complain. I'm breathing. Back at it again.
Well, hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. What we got going on today?
What's going on out here? All right, we're going to talk about trending topics.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the actress and comedian Monique, she called out Tyler Perry after he made a passionate speech at Angie Stone's funeral, condemning her mistreatment by the music industry and unpaid royalties.
Okay.
So Monique, she penned an open letter on social media after Tyler expressed frustration over Angie's mistreatment. Now Monique, she wanted to know where is her public apology that Tyler Perry promised her in 2016. She feels like he should be held accountable too for blackballing her. And people are debating on social media about whether or not Monique chose the wrong time to speak about this.
Exactly.
And, you know, they're saying that she's taking the focus from Angie Stone and making it about her. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Because this ain't her moment. You know what I mean? This is not her moment to do that. You know what I mean? This is it's about Angie Stone and her moment and her situation. So I don't feel it was cool for her to piggyback off of Angie Stone's passing to get her point across. And that's not to say she's wrong about anything. She's not wrong, but it's a time and place for everything. You basically stole that moment and made it yours, because now when you think about her funeral and what he said, it's gonna go back to Monique had did this during the funeral, so you kind of stained her funeral with your disgruntledness. Yeah, deal with that. Hey, if you want a public apology, that's still not gonna make people mess with you. You know what I mean? Because people gonna already have in their mind what they got in their mind.
Right.
You see what I mean? So I don't think that was a good time for her to do that. You know what I mean? You pretty much messed up that moment. You know what I'm saying? You know? What else you got?
Okay. Now, allegedly, the driver of the Sprinter van for Angie Stone is on the run. Now, allegedly, the driver was seen drinking at the venue where Angie last performed. And the driver was suspected of driving under the influence.
Wow.
So even though they have ruled it her passing as an accident, do you think he should still be held accountable?
If he was drunk behind the wheel, you know what I mean? And if you wasn't drunk behind the wheel, why run? So you make yourself look guilty on that aspect of it. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't do anything, you had nothing to run for. So why go and run? So what that's gonna do? They can't test your blood. Since you know what I mean, you on that run, what you gonna, you know?
Yeah.
It don't matter. The point is, if somebody saw you drinking, they can look at the cameras and see how much were you drinking. You know what I mean? Ain't no sense of running from it. If it's your mistake, it's your mistake. Own up to it.
Yeah.
Running ain't gonna make it go away. So, you know, yeah. Hey, if it's by his doing, then of course you should be held accountable.
Yeah.
You know? And the family deserves that. Right. Closure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep, pretty sad situation all the way around, either way you look at it.
Facts.
And then it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, people of color, we have these opportunities and we mess them up.
Facts.
And so I'm not sure what his situation is, but I pray that everything works out. And if he is, you know, if he is found, allegedly at this point, but if he is found to be a part of it, I think he should be held accountable.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's a sad occasion, man. You know.
Yeah. So moving on, 2 Chainz.
Okay.
He posted a video on Instagram. He was talking about how one of his employees stole from him.
Mhm.
Now, 2 Chainz has been known for, trying to give back to the community, helping, people of color, of course. And he owns a nail salon and a restaurant in Atlanta
Mhm.
where he employs mostly women.
Okay.
Unfortunately, one woman stole the sofas and TVs from his nail shop. And
Dang, I think you're gonna say some polish or a couple nails.
no. But he said he's not going to press charges, and then he knows exactly who it is. And but he wants to not press charges against her. Would you?
He wants to not press charges.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's just looking at it like if you had to really needed to steal it, but at the same time he looking at it maybe she got something on him that he don't want nobody to know.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it could be 1,000 different ways why you don't press charges. Plus, you ain't no snitch, but as a business, that's a business that has nothing to do with snitching. That's, hey, you stole from my place of business. And
Right.
that has nothing to do with me telling this on camera. So it started to make you say, well, why?
Yeah.
So, I don't want to put no speculations on it, throw no extra sauce on it, but it's a scratch, a head scratcher, because it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's on camera. That's how you know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
But why would you not, report theft
Yeah.
as the business? That ain't just because you own the business. You still got to go by business guidelines. That don't make you a snitch because your business got stolen from and you had to do an incident report.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. And so, unless it's something else, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was me, whoever was running my store is going to handle whatever needs to be handled.
Yeah.
I'm a silent owner.
Gotcha.
So that's how I look at it.
Gotcha. Okay. Just hilarious. She recorded a live last week, I believe, and she addressed critics of her job performance and acknowledged that that she pretty much had been checked out ever since she returned from her maternity leave.
Well, why go in? But go ahead.
And she admits that she was noticeably quiet, and she was just wondering, like, why is this other broadcaster, Lauren LaRosa, that filled in for her, why is she still here?
Because she's good.
So,
My bad. But go ahead.
but this is supposed to be somebody that was filling in, and then
Okay.
then when you get back, you're thinking, okay, I'm here now, so this other person is no longer needed. So, of course, Jess made this. She did this live, not interview, but she did she recorded a live, and she basically, was kind of pointing out some things that she was bothered by,
Okay.
and she was just fed up about it,
Okay.
and she wasn't pleased to see that the woman was still there.
Okay.
So, do you think she should have taken a different approach?
Yes, you should have. Because the thing, people don't understand. It ain't personal. It's business. It's always business when it comes to a business, right? If this girl is good at what she's doing, there's no law that said it had to be 3 people for the Breakfast Club. It can be 6 people for the Breakfast Club. Just happy you came back and didn't get fired. Or you came back and your job wasn't gone. They still brought you back. But you think people can't tell when you're bitter? You see what I mean? Instead of getting mad at the scenario, why not step up? Because if you that good at your job, can't nobody take it from you.
Right.
If you honestly, she thinks she can crack a few jokes and do these little things, then it's just gonna sell right by. No, that's a real profession.
Yeah.
And what you messed up and found out, the one who you chose could be the one who replaces you.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, why would you get pregnant? Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you are entitled. You have the right to do all that. That's like any job. If somebody puts you in a position, and then you go get pregnant right when they put you in that position, you think they finna wait on that?
Mm-hmm.
You think they finna really have to go through, well, I'm not gonna be able to make it the day the baby's sick? I'm not going, you know what I mean? All these things that come along with that.
Mm-hmm.
A radio show is something that's got to be done every day. So if they let her go and you have a problem where you can't come in with your baby issue or family issue, who they gonna use to fill in if they done kind of like shitted on no girl because you came back? You see what I mean? That girl's about her business. She moved from LA to New York. You see what I mean? To come do that job. You think she playing? You know what I mean? Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
If you got somebody working on your house and you may know them and they good people and they don't do a good job and you call somebody else, do they have a right to be mad? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, because it's business. I'm doing what's best for the whole show. You know, and she run the show without a hitch. And she's a producer.
Yeah.
So
she's done a great job.
yeah, so you can't knock her. You instead of going to the company or to them and airing out your grievances, you go to TikTok. So that was a sympathy video, trying to see who was going
side with her.
yeah, side with her. But most people that seen no girl know she ain't no joke about her business. And you can see the difference. You know? And that's not to take nothing away from Jess, but hey, you can't just do comedy and you got to know more than that.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody took over your segment. Sorry.
Okay, so almost replaced, but let's see if we got the video. Okay, so Tone Capone says, easier said than done. My job was in jeopardy, and I had to step up. And I was sick as well. He said he was out sick as well. Almost replaced, but my seat was not filled.
Your damn ass wasn't no almost replaced. If you don't sit down somewhere,
That's what he said.
look, if you don't sit down somewhere talking hilarious, ain't nobody replacing you. You do your job. You know what I mean? That ain't got nothing to do. Hey, do it again.
Well, sometimes people feel in, they actually, get in the seat and they feel like they like it a little bit, you know?
Okay, well, liking it and being able to do what that seat requires is two different things.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's very true.
But you have to give people the opportunity, right?
What opportunity?
To fill the seat, you know?
No, you don't. See, a fill-in is just for the sake. You filled in for the day. There's no opportunity there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? This ain't Breakfast Club yet. But ain't no fill-in. His spot is his spot.
Well, Tone Capone said, referring to my missed episode.
I'm referring to it.
Yeah, I think he got it.
Yeah, I'm referring to it. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't no replacement. So it's just like it was what it was. You know, his spot is how. His spot is his spot. He ain't Tone hilarious. Punk.
So you think she should have gone to, because from my understanding, she had a close relationship with, or a close friendship with Charlamagne the God.
Okay.
And he was the one that was instrumental in helping Jess get hired, be chosen. Because, they had a lot of people sitting in, filling in when Angela leave, when she did leave.
But here go the funny part about it. He can get her in the door. He can't keep her there. He can show her the opportunity that she take advantage of it, but he can't keep her there. She got to do the job, and that's the difference. Jess wasn't. She thought she could just hee ha ha when somebody who take journalism serious came and did what they did. You know what I mean? And so that's no way in comparison to our scenario with Stick Talk 100.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And if he was all pregnant, he ain't tell me he was pregnant.
So speaking of Stick Talk 100, are you interviewing for other?
Hell no.
Okay.
Why would I be interviewing before?
I mean, considering like other fill-in guests and things like that, since
No, that was a one-time thing. Hell no, I ain't never.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
No, I'm not saying this to you. I'm talking in general. I'm saying hell no. I've never looked at it nothing but what it was. So no. Hell no. saying?
You bastard.
Damn, I'm telling good. Why you cussing me out? I'm saying the good stuff. Hey, Tony, you gotta be like that.
Sit. Sit. Okay. You ready to
Yeah, let's go.
move
Say,
on?
you know you ain't sit down. Knock it off.
All right, now.
Knock it off.
Now, women sport fans are wondering why so many black athletes.
Shit. Go ahead.
Women sports fans are wondering why so many black athletes choose women of different race as their wives and girlfriends. What do you think?
Why?
Why?
Why do you think?
Yeah, why are they choosing other people of other races as their wives and girlfriends?
Because it's their choice. It's not all black men. It's not all black athletes. Every time one person do something, they lump this all. All ain't everybody. It's whoever choose. They got a right to choose who they want to be with. That person, whoever that athlete is, that sister probably wasn't there in college and didn't want nothing to do with him. And that other girl probably was with him the whole ride. Family supporting them and everybody behind them. And when you see them make it, you just finally seeing her. When she probably was always there from the time. See, sisters, and I'm not saying all, and I'm not saying majority, but sisters want to meet the brother on the finished product. She don't want to never go through the struggle with him. She want to be at the end and reap the good stuff, where the other girl may be with him when he ain't have a dime and support him all the way up to the point now he's fixing her back. You see what I mean? He's getting her back. So that's the difference. It ain't got nothing to do with all, and it ain't all. So I don't know why people use that. No, it's you choose who you want to be with, and you choose who you like. That's how I look at it. It ain't nothing personal. When it comes to a sister going with a white dude, oh yeah, she done stepped up and upgraded. You don't hear brothers saying, why do all sisters go with a white dude once he get money? No, it ain't that. People choose who they want to be with, and they have that right to.
So you're saying that you don't think it's intentional, that they're intentionally, seeking out other races.
Even if they do, that's their choice. Come here. That's their choice. People can go with who they want to go with.
Mm-hmm.
People can go with who they want to go with. And I don't knock it. It's whatever they like. They do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you ride with a brother when he ain't got nothing, see, you don't. What's that? One of my favorite movies, The Acrimony.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you ain't think the brother product was gonna work, and then the other one helped him, and now you figure like, oh yeah, we made it, now we good. No, we ain't. Dudes hold that thought in mind, like you wasn't there from the bottom with me, but you want to shine at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay, now Malik Yoba, you remember him?
21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street.
Was that the show? New York. He was on the New York. The New York show. He played the cop.
Okay, yeah.
And then, of course, he was in the other movie with Tyler Perry.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
But anyway, Malik Yoba, he's declared that he no longer identifies as black.
Okay.
He's, according to him, he said, "What I am is a non-white man, and I think we should all just start calling ourselves non-white."
Right.
So they're going to have to figure it out. He believes that Trump is trying to rally everyone against blacks. Do you agree?
Well, yeah, you ain't got to be. The thing is, you can also recognize yourself as Indian, Aboriginals, the original people that was here, American Indian. You know what I mean? You don't see. We the only people that every year they try to give us a new name. You're black, you're colored, you're African American, Afro American. No, I'm American. And if you're gonna add something, add Indian or whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. People always. I'm so tired of everybody trying to make an issue out of every damn thing. That's why there ain't no peace, because everybody's an issue about everything. What else you got? Tom talking that crap. Yeah, what else you got?
Okay. He said he just gonna be the other.
Huh?
Well, he said, well, I'm gonna just be other. He said he just gonna be other.
Yeah, that's the part that's on the application. Black, white, Mexican, or other. I'm other too. What else you got?
Other. Okay. All right. Now, a fan approached Taraji P. Henson as she's walking out to the car alone, trying to get to an event.
Okay.
So she's going to, she had a destination.
Mm-hmm.
The fan tried to offer her a book.
Okay.
And she politely told him she could not accept it for legal reasons.
Right.
Now, however, he continued talking to her when she was clearly just irritated. Well, she was trying to, get to the car and go on about her business. That same fan allegedly approached Vivica A. Fox, leaving a hotel, and he asked Vivica for a photo, and she said no. But he continued to make an attempt to get the photo.
Okay.
So, aren't celebrities entitled to some privacy or at least respect of their space?
Yeah, but here go the thing. That's why you got to get security, especially if you're a woman. You got to get security. You know, because you got. It's no distance between you and the person. Now, if that person felt some kind of way, he could have did something to her. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you got to get security. You know what I mean? Yeah, you deserve to have your space, but just know you in that public eye.
So does that mean that fans can just, if you tell them, no, or just thank you, you continue to go on, they should continue to pursue you or follow behind you?
No, they shouldn't, but you can't stop them from it.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can't tell the stalker not to stalk unless you get some type of protection or whatever you need. You know what I mean? And you know you're a celebrity, so you're going to cause attention. And her legal reasons could be, you know what, I don't want to take your book because they could say that I stole your book or took something from your book. I don't even want to see it. You know what I mean? So that's how you got to look.
She's endorsing it or something like that, too. Something that she's never seen or heard.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly. You must need that room to open the window. So, yeah. Come here. Yeah, but that's how I look at it. What else you got?
All right, well, it is about that time.
Honest opinion time.
It is time for your honest opinion.
Let's do it.
All right, so a young lady, she was on FaceTime with her boyfriend.
All right.
And she began to share her screen with him.
Okay.
She wanted to show him a picture that she had in her phone.
Okay.
So while they were on FaceTime, she was scrolling, and the boyfriend saw an eggplant photo.
Pause. Wow. What is with these questions all the time?
What do you mean all the time? It's not all the time. This is what happened.
I'm not saying from you. I'm just saying period.
Okay.
People always got some type of pause ass situation going on. Go ahead.
So he saw this photo, in her gallery, and the boyfriend was like, "Hold up, what was that?" Because she tried to keep scrolling by, and she tried to ignore it.
I bet she did.
And she kept scrolling, and he was like, "Wait a minute, hold up, what was that?" And
Pepper picked the pepper. That's what it was.
So he started to ask questions like, why does she have this photo?
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, why did she save it? Why is it in her gallery?
Mm-hmm.
So she said that she only kept it because she shared it with a couple of her friends, and they had a good laugh about it. And she was just like, why is she sending me this, blah blah blah, And then
she's like, I like the pickle.
And her and the friends had this laugh about it, but the boyfriend didn't find it funny, at all.
She didn't either. She just was saying.
So when the question was asked, who is that a picture of?
Mm-hmm.
She said it was nobody to her, but then she, said that, it's a coworker. So the boyfriend now feels like he can't trust her and is wondering what made this person feel so comfortable to send her this picture of himself.
Because she done said something to him.
So the boyfriend just stopped talking to her. So now she's trying to get his attention. She's promised to delete the photo and block the guy, but the boyfriend says he cannot unsee what he saw. So is the boyfriend overreacting?
Well, evidently from his perspective, he ain't.
Right.
You know, but she talking about she for the streets.
No, she said this person don't mean
It don't
anything to
matter
her.
what she said. What does that matter if he's saying what he's saying? If it didn't mean nothing, it wouldn't have been there. And then you see this dude that's a coworker, so that means you actually cordial with him. So what have you sent him? You see what I mean? That's different if somebody way over. The whole thing is messed up. But what's different if he's your coworker? So that means you see him. Just because you block it or you ain't gonna talk, you see him every day at work. What sense does that make?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What does that make? She said she with him. You know what I mean? What else he supposed to say?
So you're saying the boyfriend is justified in not just letting it go and thinking that, okay, even though he don't know for certain, it's a photo.
He's justified. Any person is justified for whatever decision they choose to make.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have to be justifiable to the other person, but it's what he felt. So if he felt that, he's justified.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. It's no wrong in the scenario.
Okay, so if you say it's no wrong, if it were you and you were the guy, would you just, accept her apology and move forward, move on with the relationship?
What I say, I don't know. I'm not even saying that. I don't know.
Okay.
But in my mentality of it is, you already doing what you want to do. You just ain't done it yet. You see what I mean? You working with the dude, so it'll only get closer. So it could be closer than even that. If you working with him, then y'all got to that point. Because most women, if you would stand a woman that she'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And feel some kind of way. So evidently, she didn't feel some kind of way. And you didn't feel some kind of way to the point that you were sharing it with your friends. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's some interest there. I'm just saying. You showing your friends, what's the giggle about? You should be feeling disrespected.
Well, I don't know if she felt disrespected.
If she didn't feel disrespected because she was steady showing other people. So that ain't what you mean. You don't know. She's showing you she don't. I said she should feel disrespected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what makes you, like the average real woman would say, what makes you feel like you're comfortable enough to send me that?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So for him to be that comfortable to send her that, then she had to send him something.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could be like, I lose my job. All she had to do was say one time that he sent her a picture at the job and he be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Would he not be?
Mm-hmm.
That's sexual harassment.
Right.
Exactly. So if she got it instead of showing everybody, then she was not offended. So it's more to the story. So in his defense, he probably made the right decision. I'm just saying. You can't even touch a motherfucker on the shoulder at work without it being sexual harassment. But you said
right. You can barely give people a compliment.
you can barely give them a hug. You gotta give a motherfucker an elbow down, so you stay out of trouble. But he said it that, and you receiving it. You didn't go report it, but you showing your girlfriends.
You should just have a laugh about it. Right?
It don't matter what you come on. We
I'm telling you what she
okay,
said.
but what would you say?
Well, I would have been upset, especially if I got a man, But I don't know that she was not upset though. She
can't be upset. She didn't report it. How?
Well, no,
She at work.
Right.
So stop trying to back swim for women. The bitch is wrong. Damn, you always trying to find a way out for a fucking woman. No, she was wrong. It is what it is.
But just what if it was just completely innocent?
It's
and-
not innocent.
Okay.
If he sent it, either he want it or he got it already.
Okay. So let's just say that he want it, but she don't want it because she.
Well, she should have reported it.
Okay.
She shouldn't have had it in her phone. She should have turned that over to HR. Yeah, come on now. We grown around here. We grown around here. All right, what else you got?
All right, well, that is pretty much a wrap for our questions today. Tom, what you think?
All right, we got Q&A.
Those are not innocent type.
You
What
said
you
what?
think? Those are not innocent type of pictures.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right, Tom.
He ain't probably right. He right. Why you keep putting probably? See what I'm saying? He right. That ain't innocent pictures. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
ain't innocent.
but
Ain't no but. To but.
but
When you say
but
but,
can you say that you've never sent a woman a photo like that? You know?
if I send a woman a photo like that, it's a woman that I'm probably already with.
So you wouldn't send it to somebody that you trying to get with.
No, what for? That's a turn off. Now, if I got it, then it's something different.
Okay.
It's no sin. Oh, okay, yeah, I want to get with you. Here, take this.
Well, I mean, but there has been a people, men do.
And
that,
women
'cause
do
they're
it
trying
too.
I'm not saying women don't, but I'm saying that they do sometimes when they're trying to impress or, you know, trying to show a woman, you know, what they're working
but
with.
no,
so.
but the thing is, when a man do that to that kind of woman, that ain't a woman he's looking to be with. That's a woman he just want to smash and pass.
Oh.
You know, because if you respect a woman that you respect this woman that you probably want to be with, you definitely ain't gonna come at her that way.
So Tom said he was grooming her for the real deal.
Mm-hmm. He groomed himself for 5 to 10. That's what he doing.
Okay.
Because if she sent that picture to any type of police or whatever, because he did that, he going to jail.
He said, "Don, leave something for the imagination."
Right.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get on you on Stick Talk 100 about that bull job you just said too. I think I forgot. All right. Hey, what else we got? That all the questions?
Yeah, you might want to ask and see if anybody else, but that's all that we have.
Any more questions before we close this out, class? All right. With that being said, it's your boy A-T-O-N-E. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Be ready for this Stick Talk 100 1-year anniversary on May 2nd. That we're gonna be in a different location, special, and we're gonna make it happen. So we're gonna give you a heads up, probably 2 weeks before, and start really pushing it to let you know what's going on. So we appreciate y'all viewing. We appreciate the questions. With that being said, it's your boy A-T-O-N-E.
I'm your girl, Miss P.
What's his name? Tony Escaponius. Deuces.